Do you struggle with making decisions? Some kind of decision fatigue? Everybody does, Everybody does. Why? Because it is estimated we make a couple of thousands of decisions every day. Imagine all the decisions your brain makes. And it's stupid and simple decision as whether you will take coffee with milk or will drink tea or will take a glass of water, will take cold water or warm water or really hot water or really cold water. All that are decisions that you make, and all that are draining your resources. Your resources that mean your brain gets more and more fatigued. So how do you deal with that? You cannot just eliminate all the decisions because that's part of your life. But what you can do is structure your life so you make less decisions. All the successful people have actually managed to do that because time is of the essence and resources are of the essence. So even if you're not very, very wealthy and your time is not that much precious like mine is, it doesn't mean that your resources aren't valuable, because even though you're not wealthy, your resources are very, very valuable, because every day you have only a limited amount of resources that you can spend. You can spend on arguing, you can spend on loving, you can spend on nourishing, on researching, or making decisions. So how do you go about it? You try to make your life so structured that you make as little decisions as possible. Instead of every day, every morning deciding what to wear, you have simplify your wearing decision, your styling decision, to a more stylish, unified Unicode decision. Some women or some men decide to wear the same thing every day, keeps it stylish, and it's just easier for them. Especially for women, that's a bit more problematic because women like to be more stylish. Men tend to be wearing the same thing and are okay. It's more so social societal thing, but I don't agree with it. I read actually an article of a very successful businesswoman that was dressing the same thing for 2 years and nobody noticed because she was really smart and wearing it. She really went into deep how to dress the same but yet seem very, very stylish. That doesn't mean you should be dressing badly or poorly. It just means that you're simplifying your decisions about what to wear. But another thing is, whether you decide to pay your bills on time or before time, if you have the options of doing this automatically, somebody else should be doing, like your bank or your provider, so on, so on, so on. Then you have the decision about, what to eat. That's a huge decision. We struggle a bit, but then, nutritionists say that we have 3 to 5 or 3 to 10 options actually that we just mingle and combine every time. So we're not that very creative. We think that we are creative and decide from time to time something new, but actually we are not that creative. So why not embrace this, and why not just structure your meals even, to be less stressful? Okay, Mondays I'm gonna eat tuna with rice. Why not? It's the same thing as you would think about it for half an hour and then decide the same thing, or you're gonna think about it for half an hour and then on Monday you're gonna have chicken and on Thursday you're gonna have tuna. Why? Why bother? It's draining your resources for no obvious thing. Another thing that's draining your resources is of course less sleep, and of course drinking alcohol. That also deprives your body of the nutrients and resources that it needs to have. So while I'm not saying you should live like a monk, and you're not saying you should stop smoking and drinking, whatever you wish to do, but if you lower that amount of drinking a bad influence to your body, you will have much, much more energy and more resources that you can then spend on doing other things that perhaps excite you and are doing well. Another thing of making less decision is, of course, like the Eisenhower matrix, what's important, what's not important, what's urgent, what's not urgent. And if it's not important and not urgent, why are we making this decision anyway? So some decisions are made for us because there's actually no decision to be made. Somebody just informs us that something is happening. Telephone provider is informing us that the prices is going to go up 5%. What are we going to do about it? We're going to change providers? Probably not. It's too much of a hassle. Why are we reading the brochure then? We don't know. It's taking up resources, taking up time. We should spend that time, creatively doing something else that we like to do, and it's more proficient. Spending time at watching Netflix, draining our resources, probably is it getting us, less stress level. If it is, great. If it's not, if it's raising our stress level, like reading social media or news reports, then why are we doing? Why are we reading, news reports if it doesn't benefit us and it raises our stress level. Just another thing you can abolish and throw out. I read this story about a guy that's doing in the Silicon Valley, and while I think it was one of the founders of Google, and while he was driving from home to a workplace, somebody tagged along and he said, "Oh man, your car got hijacked. You don't have no radio." And he said, "No, I don't. I threw the radio out. It distracts me of my resources. It distracts me of my time because I spend that time from driving from home to my workplace thinking and not. I don't want to be numbed by the music." A lot of people now are being numbed by TikTok and social media. Just by not want to thinking. They don't want to think about their issue. They don't want to think about their life, what they're going. But I think that's a bad thing. You should go and find those resources and do something that you like. Doesn't mean you have to start a side hustle or a business. It can mean reading a book about a hobby that you liked or you previously liked when you were younger, and just catching up on that. It will be more beneficial for you, and perhaps it will really gain you some insight and some clarity and some peace of mind. Try to make as little as possible decisions, and as possible, like I said, a couple of thousand. If you bring it 1,000 or 500 more or less, it will be beneficial to you, and it will gain you so much more resources that you will be more energetic towards the end of the day, when we usually all drain up and without energy. So that's also part why we are all without energy, because we're making so much decisions that actually don't matter, not for our lives, not for everybody else. So that's it all for me. Try to get the decision meaningful. So try to get the decisions that matter most, the resources, and the decisions that don't matter, no resources at all. Let them outsource you or let them be made in 1 second, and that's just it. That's it for me. Like and subscribe.